Hey everybody, Double P here. Welcome to the Option Trading Strategies and Tips, the YouTube channel. So this is a channel where I'm going to be going over some of my option trades, which I take pretty much every day or every other day, and it's going to be free to you. So I just wanted to give you some education, give you some enlightenment, and show you how you can generate a income on your own with my help, of course, and it doesn't cost you a thing. Now, in case you're wondering, in full transparency, I do have a course. I'm not actively promoting it. I have members inside of my course, and we do options and stock trades pretty much every day. But this is my way of just giving back to everybody out in YouTube land. I mean, you can do your research on me, do all the research that you want. I'm a very ethical guy, very ethical trader. I'm going to be trading in real time, and I show you how I do everything. That kind of separates me from, I guess, a lot of other people out there, which I'm not going to focus on. I'm going to focus on you. Okay? So, with option trading, and what I wanted to also say is full blown transparency. I'm not a licensed stockbroker. I'm not a licensed financial analyst. I don't have my Series 33 or my Series 37 or any of those SEC regulation type licenses. I'm just a guy that's doing option trading with my own dime and on my own time. I don't have any certifications anywhere, so let's just get that full-blown transparency out of the way. I cannot give you any financial advice. I cannot give you any tax advice. I can't give you any legal advice. I can't give you any financial advice or anything of that nature because I'm not certified or licensed to do so. So full-blown transparency. I wanted to get that out of the way. It's going to be on my YouTube channel as well. You're going to see it there. But I have a knack for showing people how to make money with option trades, and you'll see what I do in real time. So let's get into it. One of the stocks I looked at taking today, and you'll see the date here. It's September the 1st, and it's around 1:30. I already took this trade earlier on during the day. I like to be done trading roughly around 11 to 12 o'clock. My day is done. That's when most of the bulk of the moves happen before that time, and I want to be in and out of the market and done. I am an intraday momentum option scalper, which means I don't hold the position long term. So I don't hold the position for 2 months or a month. I don't hold the position for 3 weeks. I don't hold the position for 2 weeks. I believe that if you have the right leverage and the right strategies, you can make just as much money in 1 or 2 days as you can with inside of a month holding an option or 3 weeks. So I like to be in and out of the market. I'm an intraday momentum scalper, so that means I'm usually trading on the 1 hour chart, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 1-minute charts. That's how I do my trading. But I'm going to show you a different strategy here. But I want to show you the time. Everything's real time. This is in my margin account right here. I'm going to have to obviously blur out this last part here because I don't want to violate my terms and services of my brokerage account. You're going to see here it says partially delayed data. You're probably thinking it's not real. It's totally real. Everything is in real time. I just don't choose to do futures or futures options. That's what's delayed by 20 minutes. That's why I have partially delayed data. I don't trade in futures. So as you see here, this is all delayed. I don't trade in futures or futures options. I really don't understand futures, so my specialty is stock and options. And as you can see here, everything is in real time. So we got the Amex, we got the NASDAQ, we got the New York Stock Exchange, we got equity options, we got Forex and other. Everything's real time. I don't trade in futures, so I don't need that data feed. I don't want to pay for it, and I don't need it on. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way so that you can see all that there. All right, so I look at Pinduoduo. I was looking at this over the last couple of days, and today it rocketed roughly around 9-10%, and it's up and down. So I looked at getting into a trade with it. So how I look at doing things is, you'll see me over here. I go on the 3-month weekly chart first, which is you're looking at right here, the 3-month weekly chart. I look at the setup. I look at, and I trade on the couple different indicators, but basically one of my trade setups is I like to use the Bollinger Bands, I like to use the TTM squeeze, and like to use the MACD. And I've tweaked out my settings for the Keltner channel, the TTM, and the MACD because I don't use it right out of the box because it's a little bit slow. And I'm more of a concurrent trader, so I like to kind of project as what's happening in a higher time frame and more so out into the future. And I like to speed up my averages. I don't like to work on a simple moving average or a smooth moving average. And yes, I know some people say smooth and simple moving average, this and that. Everyone has a different trading strategy. So you can pick and choose what you like. You can take the best of what I'm teaching you, and whatever else you don't like, you can kind of throw it away. I'm totally fine with that. So I just speed all that up. So again, I go on the 3-month weekly chart setup, and then I went down, and as I say, I trade on a 1 hour. So I'll come down here on the 5-day 1 hour chart because I want to see exactly the trend of this position. And as you see here, a few days ago, and this is what I like to see, we had a low of $90, and you can look at on this trend here how the TTM squeeze is just fired, as well as with the MACD. Everything's all set up. You can see the trend here, and it just kind of moves up and it blows up. Same thing. This is the leader, and this is the laggard for the average on the MACD, and this is the crossover that you see right here, and it moved up, and you see the histograms coming up. So this is what I like to see, and this is on the intraday chart, the 5-day 1 hour chart. So when I looked at this setup, and if you're wondering what these lines are, these are just a high and low of every day. So I put this on, and I slap this on because I want to see what the high and low is, because what happens is the low will then become resistance, which is resistance, right? That's the top for the day. And then the high will become, the high, which is right here, will now become the new support, right? So I like to see this big uptrend. So when I saw that, I dropped down for looking for an intraday play. I dropped down to the 1 hour chart today, and I'm looking at the 1 hour chart. I'm looking at how everything is still firing in an upward trend on the hour, and you see here we're steadily climbing on the MACD. So what I tend to do is I want to go into the options market because I'm an option trader, right? I'm an intraday momentum scalper. So on the 1 hour chart, I'm looking at when the squeeze is firing, and I'm looking at what happened in the morning. So when I come over here, I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute chart now, and you're going to start to see how I take my granular trades. So look at the histogram here, and look at the movement here, right? And then you look and you see the steady chart is going up, 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 then it starts to consolidate roughly around this area right here. These were the highs before, and these were the highs right here, and these were the highs right here and right here. Then it just continued to go up on a little bit of a staircase and a flag type of a pattern. So when I'm looking at this, I looked at taking my trade, which was an intraday trade. So I come over here to the options market, and I looked at taking the 108. So when I scroll down here, I'm already out of this position, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So when I'm looking at the 108, I'm looking at the cost of it right now for the option is roughly around $2.19, $2.70, right? In that range. So when I come back to my chart, when I looked at taking this option trade, I have to map out what is support and resistance. So let me come over here to my tools. And by the way, I don't really look at news per se. I don't really care about news. News is the last thing I look at, because when you look at news, the movement's already gone past the move, right? So news is kind of the last thing I look at on an intraday basis. So when I start my day, I look at mapping out on the 5-minute candle. I'm looking at mapping out support and resistance, and then I go to my Fibonacci. You can use Fibonacci extensions, and you can use Fibonacci retracements on an intraday time frame basis when you're doing options. And I'm going to show you how that works. So let me come over here. Let me open this up a little bit so that you see it. So I'm mapping out support and resistance, and you're going to see exactly why this works so well. So I look for cluster points. When I look for an area where the stock is either consolidating or it's gone and it's hit highs and it's hit levels. So that's the cluster point that I want to map out. This is a cluster point that I want to map out, and this is when I started my day. And I can do the Fibonacci retracements with you and extensions on a different time frame as well, like on a 2-month, 3-month, weekly time frame as well. And then these are my another cluster point right here. So let me map this out on a price level for you that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this area right here. So you see the price points. I'm looking at this cluster point. I'll call these gravity lines or pivot points, and based on price action as to where I want to be able to start taking trades and exiting my trade positions. Okay, so that you guys can see that there. Let me open this up. So the high is 109.79 at the time, and you're seeing all the price points that I've mapped out in this area. So you'll see here, let me just move this. Let me just move this out of the way over here. So you'll see here I mapped up my price points: 109.38, 108.51, 107.35, 105.94, 103.71, and 102.16. So those are the price points that I've mapped out that you can see there. And when I went in to look at the option, I went and I bought the 108 strike price, and I did a call, and I did 100 contracts on that, I do believe. So let me come over here so you can see the final end product. So you see everything's up and up. So I bought the 108 strike, and you can see here my profit for the day is $8,800. So let me come back over here because I finished trading out of this position. Let me close this up. Let's go back over to the chart, and you're going to see exactly why I took this trade. So let me enter over here on my other chart setup. So you can see Pinduoduo over here. I've copied everything over to my first chart, and then on the second chart, this is where I put my options. So I always have my stock price on one side, and I have the options price on the other side because I'm trading in the options. And I can use the option, and I can use the ladder, I can use active trader to be able to take my trades with the option, which is what I did. So over here, you'll see I mapped out, once again, you'll see I mapped out my areas for support and resistance and taking profit. So you see here, I mapped it out at 158, 175, 239. You see it hit a high here of 320, but this is when I entered into the trade. 175 is when I entered into the trade. My stop loss was literally as 158. So what I like to do is I like to come over here to the calculator. Let me just pull up the calculator here. When I entered the trade, it was around 175. So I may look at taking a loss of no more than 20% on the actual option trade itself. So on the actual option trade itself, 20% is $1.40, which is going to be roughly right around here. But I don't like to take a 20% loss on an option, especially when you're doing a big block trade and you're buying a lot of options. That's the difference between a couple $100 and a couple $1,000 being lost. So this particular trade here, I do believe was probably around maybe 12%. So let me see, minus 12%. Yeah, so roughly around, probably around 10%. That's where my absolute stop loss is for taking this particular trade. So what do we do here is when I mapped everything out, I know exactly now that my 20% is roughly going to be 20% of 175. Let's go over here, 175 plus 20% profit. I usually like to take 20% profit in the option trade, $2.10, right? So that would have been right around here, which is when I started taking some of my profit. Let me come over here, get my price action drawing tool. So $2.10 roughly. And then I would have took another profit, or my full profit at $2.39. Okay, so that's how I would have mapped it out, and that's how I map it out pretty much every day. So I know what my stop loss is, I know what my first profit taking point is, and then I know what my next profit taking point is, and then I'm out of the trade. Yes, you always want to stay in the trade for as long as the trend is going in your direction. But you have to understand what some of these stocks do. They go up, they go down. If we break this down, we're on a 15-minute time frame, but if you break it down to the 1-minute time frame, you're going to see a lot of action here, which is a lot of bouncy action, which is the reason why I want to get in and I want to get out of this trade. So you see here the first profit taken part of where I would have took profit. You see how much this stock dipped, or the option dipped, between that particular time frame. So very dangerous to be in a trade overall for that length of time, which I don't want to be. So let's come back over here in a 5-minute chart, so it kind of smooths it out a little bit better for you. So what did I eventually do? Well, let me come over here and show you how I take these trades with the Fibonacci, so that you see roughly when I map out support and resistance, you're going to see the same thing with Fibonacci. So with Fibonacci, let's go on the lowest level, which is right about here, and then we go to basically the high. Now, obviously, I can go inside of Fibonacci and I can tweak the numbers out so they're exactly penny for the penny. But if you're looking at the Fibonacci right now, you'll see exactly how well I went and I literally tagged almost every Fibonacci level, which is the levels that I'm looking at for retracements to be able to come in to take my trade. So you'll see here at the golden mean is 103.71. Well, this is when Pinduoduo was roughly around 103.71. I'm looking at taking the day trade. I bought the 108 options. So I'm looking at, okay, when it hits its high, when it's coming up here to move up to hit its high, I want to be able to get in the position and take all my profit. Now, we're looking at the Fibonacci. We're looking at the 23.6% retracement. Where is my price level? 107.35. And over here, it's 107.34, right? So we're pretty much bang on with my support and resistance, 105.94, 105.97. So obviously if I'm tweaking this out to the penny, you'll see exactly why I know how to map out support and resistance. And I'm showing you a different way, a little bit easier way to map out your support and resistance levels just by looking at cluster points or gravity points inside of a chart. And this works whether we're on a 5-minute chart, we could be on an hour chart. You're going to see the same thing, that the levels match out pretty consistently. We can even do this on a weekly chart. So if I come down here, or we can even do it on a 30-day chart, you'll see the support and resistance levels. I don't want to get this too complicated because it's going to I have to like start adjusting my chart and everything for you, but you can see basically that's how we hit it. But I'm an intraday trader, so let's come back down here to the 5-minute chart so you can kind of see what's going on, and I'll open it up a little bit, all right? So the support and resistance levels that I mapped out using price, I could have used a percentage, but I'm using price because the Fibonacci already comes with a percentage right here. So the Fibonacci already comes with percentage. So you know what I mean? I don't need to use percentage over here. I use price and percentage, all right? So you can see here the trend that we took. Now, when I took my profit and when I exited roughly around this area right here. So this would have been, let's see here, roughly around at the top point, we're looking at 11:50 a.m. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So that was when it would have hit roughly around 109, let's just say 109.22 or so. So let's come over to the charts right back here, and you'll see, let me open this up here. Where are we at here? 11, let me go right back over here. I did say it was around, what time was it? 11:55 or 11:50. Yeah, so roughly around 11:50 a.m. So let's see what 11:50 a.m. looked at for the option market here. 11. Let me just 11:55. Hope you can still see me there. Sorry about that. I had to adjust my screen. So around 11:55. So yeah. So you can see here 11:50, 12. So I took my profit roughly around the second profit area. Remember, the top of my profit was 239. That's when I would have exited completely out of the trade, and that's roughly around this time frame right around here. So I hope you like this first little lesson about options trading, when to get in, when to get out, mapping out your support, mapping out your resistance areas, looking at support and resistance, and working with a Fibonacci to be able to map out your percentage, understanding taking profit, taking what your stop loss is. Now, with the Fibonacci, let me clear the Fibonacci retracements. Now, we can come over here and I'll do the same thing with the Fibonacci extension so that you can see exactly how we can figure out how to do the extensions. So with the extensions, you can go from low to high to low, or from a high point to low point back to a high point, right? So either way, if we go from a high to a low to a high, you're going to see an extension as concurrently where the price action or where the price might actually go. Let me go from a low point to a high point to a low point. So let me pick this low point right here to this high point right here, back down to this low point right here. So it's like an ABC type pattern. And you can see, let me see if I can shrink this down for you. So you can see here, once again, where on a Fibonacci extension, where the price action might actually go. So from that low point to the high point to the low point, you're going to see a 23% retrace extension. You're going to see roughly this price point right here, which is 108.51. Then you're going to see the 38.2% extension, and that's roughly 109.27. So it's right up in the areas where we're going to be taking our profit and looking at exiting the trade. You see how the extensions actually work. So let me shrink this down a little bit here. So you can see a 50% extension from today would be 110.31. That's if we're in the trade long term. Now this may actually hit this because right now what's happening is this is consolidation right here. So for this stock to move up another, literally like another $2, what's the expected move over the next 2 days? If we come over here and we look at the expected move, you can see right here in 2 days time, scroll over here, the expected move, expected move is $5.17, plus or minus $5.17. That's what they're expecting this option to move. So if we look at that, so we look at the current price right now, 108. Let's just say the stock opened around 108. We can even go 57 cents. So plus or minus $5.17. We're looking at the stock to go up to 113.74. So let's come over here back to the chart and let's see where 113.74 is. So at a high of around 113.74, we're looking at a 78.6% extension. So that's not too far off. So we know if we wanted to take a longer type of a trade, we can start to look at the Fibonacci extensions as profit-taking levels, and we look at them as support and resistance levels moving up in the next couple of days. Now, because Pinduoduo took a beating because the Chinese stock over the last couple of days has rebounded, now it's going to be in a forward momentum motion moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me get rid of this here. So clear drawing set. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video on option trading. Follow me. If you like the video, you got any questions, ask away. I'm here to answer any and all of your questions. If you like the video, please like the video. Please hit the like button. Please definitely do subscribe, because what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be giving away, literally, I'm going to be doing day trading, and I'll be giving away most of my day trades for free so that you can see and understand and know that I'm somebody that you should start to pay attention to and that you can pay attention to, and there's no ulterior motives for you whatsoever. So with that being said, my name is Double P. I will see you guys in the profit zone. Take care, everybody.